Oh, he's great. I mean, he's obviously one of our great playmakers. He has been, especially last week last 2 weeks really, pretty hampered by his ankle. I think he'll be close to full speed. So he's moved around. He's actually had a full week of practice and doing well. So feel good about it. Tim's a kid. To have a guy that is as talented as he is, that has the character that he has, that has the work ethic. And I tell you what too, I think he's had an impact. I don't know that I've seen a true freshman work like Nikhil has, and I think has a lot to do with Nikhil. But I do think that Tim's had an impact on him. So you just don't get guys like that are, sometimes guys that are ultra talented, like Tim, they tend to want to train you, and it's kind of hard to manage that. And Tim, you have none of that with him. He is just so humble and just works so hard and just so gifted. He's as gifted of an athlete. Probably some of the ones we've had around here. I mean, Damaris Randall was probably as gifted of an athlete as we've had, and Tim's right there, that kind of athlete.
How about as far as sort of coaching aspect, coachable?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I challenge him to do is that, and I think Coach Norvell's done a great job with them, with all of our receivers. But, Tim's been with us a year, so that's the area where we harp on him to improve the most. And he's made improvement. We just got to continue to improve fundamental route running, fundamental blocking, alignments and stuff like that. There's just these little things that are vital. He's gotten better at it, though. But I think that's if there's anything you talk about his athleticism, his speed, his work ethic, all that's way up here, and he's just raw. He's just he's gotten better, but that's the area where he's got a higher ceiling than where he's at now, and obviously him being healthy will help him.
There's a lot of talk in the Pac-12 about when coaches decide to go for it on fourth down, and I know a lot of that depends on time, situation, and score and all that, but is there something that you do in those situations? Do you rely on your gut, or just how do you approach that?
I think every situation's different. I was impressed last week with Utah. They could have tied the game, and they went for it. And I think that's had a lot to do with how they were running the ball and, where they were at in the game. It depends on going for it on fourth down. What type of game is it? You know what I mean? Like at San Antonio, it was going to be I thought, a low-scoring deal. So I thought points were going to be real critical. And I don't know, how do you know that? I just, you just kind of go by, you feel, and so you just got to make sure you get points. And if any doubt in your mind, take the points. But you got to play to win, and you got to play to your strengths and what you think. So it's calculated. I want to say guess, but it's a calculated decision.
You often, when you go back and watch film of the game, do you think like, man, I wish we would have gone for it there?
I try not to, Doug. I try not to be in games where I'm going, do this. Right. Because I'm serious. I mean, there's a lot of that goes on, and you don't want that. I want to go back through that and us talk about. We have a game management meeting every week that we have everybody in, and we talk through. Okay, so if both teams are scoring, if it's a lower scoring game, how do we feel in this situation? 4th and 18 inches is a heck of a lot different than 4th and a yard. 4th and 6 inches is different than 4th and 2 feet. Make sense? So it just depends on how you feel about those things, and you got to play to win. That's my whole deal. But you can't be. You don't want to be. You don't want, because you're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't. And but you got to go with your feeling too, and your team. What's the kind of the personality of your team?
Coach, after all these air raid type teams, how different is it against the team that plays 2 and 3 tight ends?
It's a whole different set of circumstances. I mean, obviously we got to stop the run. We got the two best running backs that we'll play against. Probably won't play against better. Receivers are big, physical. Tight ends, same way. It's just a different set of circumstances. But, I mean, they're very capable of being very explosive. And so we got to do a good job of keeping them off, not drawing a beat on us. We got to stop the run.
Look at the strong second half that you have this year. How much of superior conditioning you think really comes into that?
I think it's about investment. I've said this. It's great to be in year 5 because we have a culture, and if you're around our program, you can see that the way our guys work, the way we practice. There's just not a lot of minimum stuff, and I think sometimes the danger of that is you get a little complacent. But I think our guys are hungry, and they got a lot of heart. So I think conditioning has a lot to do with it, and we work hard on that. But so much of what we faced early in this year, we've had a lot of guys missing games for not major injuries, but there's been a lot of injury stuff. So, a lot of the top starter guys have not played. So it tells you about the overall conditioning of our program and the heart of our program more than I think it talks about the conditioning. Because I think that's what our guys have shown is some, and I like their grit. We've talked a lot about that. So, but yeah, I think it's also your training, your mental training and your physical training. I think that we've done well.
Speaking of injuries, what is Amilatu's status?
I'd tell you, last senior year, last time to go over to Southern California where he's from, I'd say there's a good chance he's going to play. We're going to make sure that he's safe to play. So I think him and Kalen should be ready to go. Christian Sams won't be.
What specifically do you guys have to do to stop the run and make Darnold pass?
Tackle.
Obviously, a lot of great highlights in your career. How much is that USC victory there, that pass, when you think of great
The
moments?
truth,
Yes.
it don't get any better. I've had an opportunity to win some big games, Notre Dame, things like that, but that going there, that game there's not one that ranks higher. But that game's in the past, and this is this year, and I'd like to go create another memory like that. And so, just honestly, I'd like to give you the standard answer that now all games are the same, but they're not.
I talked to Kareem more about his recruitment the other day and about how he chose you guys over Ohio State. Do you remember, ASU doesn't often get people from Tennessee. Do you remember anything about that?
Yeah. Coach Ball located him. We recruit nationwide and for the kids that fit us, and obviously Kareem was a young man that, good academically, character, smart, and also I think he really liked our system. And so, it's hard to beat teams like that halfway across the country, but, you got to, we can recruit nationally that way. And Chris, and be real honest with you, Chris did a great job with him. And then I think our system helped, and he loved it here. And he loved our players, and I think the type of person he was fits what our culture is all about.